Hi, my name is Joy. I am 45 years old just as of last week, and I live in Wallasey with my Australian husband and my 5-year-old boy called Carter. At the age of 16, I went to professional stage school. I spent 3 years doing everything: tap, modern, ballet, jazz, Latin, national. It was literally fame, like all walking around in leotards, all dancing in the street. It was just amazing. At the age of 19, I got a job on a cruise ship, on a Greek cruise ship, which was probably no bigger than the Mersey ferry boat and full of Greek grannies. It was horrific. Pre-diagnosis, I really struggled to say the C word. I was just a normal mum, normal wife, normal friend, doing everything a normal person does with an 18-month-old baby. I was still feeding him, actually, doing all the baby clubs, all the baby swim, baby sing sign, baby massage, baby sensory, and just doing all those normal things. I had a lump in my neck for ages, but I'd had one the other side and I got it checked out. And they said, oh, it's nothing, and it just disappeared. So when another one appeared that side, I was like, it's nothing. Then I got taken into hospital because I couldn't move my neck and this rash was getting lower. So I got rushed in on Wednesday and they were like, oh, what's this lump? And I was like, oh, that's nothing. And they were like, let's get a biopsy. And I was like, because, you know, I don't smoke, I barely drink, I eat really healthy, I'm not overweight, and I'm really young. You know, and I've never smoked, I've never done drugs. I'm like the healthiest, cleanest, boring person ever. And then it just spiraled from there. So I went just from being completely normal to like, let's do a biopsy, let's do an MRI, let's do a CT, let's do a, what's the other one, a CAT scan. And then it was like, boom. And I remember the nurse saying to me, highly suspicious. And I just went, what the hell does that mean? Highly suspicious of what? She said cancer, and I was just like, two things I asked. Am I gonna die? Am I gonna lose my hair? Who cares if you lose your hair? But you do. It's the most important thing. And that was the only things I asked. Am I gonna lose my hair? Am I gonna die? I've got pictures of me so deep in the middle of my treatment, with a tube hanging out my stomach, which you couldn't see, full head of lovely blonde hair, thicker than it is now, looking really quite good, a bit skinny, a bit like wobbly. But there's a picture of Carter at Sing and Sign, and he graduated, and I'm there like, yee! And I put it on Facebook, and if anyone had said that girl's right in the middle of Cancer Street, she can't even swallow her own spit, you know what I mean? She's in that much pain because it burns on your neck. You'd be like, what? Like, there was just not, you just couldn't tell. I lost my hair from there down, because that's where my radio was, so I was bald from there down. So if I was trendy, I probably could have rocked it, you know what I mean? But I'm not trendy, so I didn't rock it, but no one could tell. So that was the main thing. But I did lose all my personality. I lost all my joy from Joy. I would see people and I'd hide behind trees, I'd hide behind cars. I just didn't want anyone to see me and go, oh, I saw Joy, she looked like crap, you know what I mean? So I hid from everyone. It's weird, because I can't even say trying to not commit suicide, because I was never suicidal and I never would have done it. But you think all the time, if I just jumped out of here, if I just crashed my car, it would end all the pain that I'm in, you know what I mean? Like, all of it would just go. But I was, but to say I was suicidal, I never was, because I wouldn't dream of doing it, so I wasn't. But you did think, if I did that, because, and then I thought as well, what's the point in going through all this agony? Because ENT, ear, nose, throat cancer is one of the worst. It's not the worst to have because it's the easiest treated. It's not like having breast cancer, which just goes all over you and you're just screwed. But it's the most traumatic to go through because you can't physically eat and drink, and that's why you're monitored so carefully when you have it. So it was more, I would often say to myself, what's the point in going through all this if I'm going to die at the end anyway? What's the point? So when Carter was about 6 months old, I think, I was just online looking for stuff, because kid stuff I find is a bit boring sometimes. And I came across this really cool pair of little rainbow striped socks with like a yellow star on them. And I thought, oh my God, they're really cute. And I just bought them. And then I don't know if someone said, why don't you start or whatever. But I've always sold. I've always been really good at selling. And I've always been selling, you know, from when I was like 19. Started selling like hair products, all the shows, and obviously promoted for 25 years other people's products. So I thought, right, I'll do my own. So Little Badger, my business, grew from that. So I started sewing a few little bits and bobs, but most of my stuff was kind of imported. And my first stall, I've got a picture actually, and Carter's like this massive fat bowling ball baby with the little star socks on, and my table covers like one 6-foot table, and that's it. And now my stock covers can cover like 3 6-foot tables. It's like insane. 95% probably of the material that I use to make my skirts, my dresses, my aprons, my bags comes from charity shops, or people donate it to me. Hey, I've got a pair of curtains, do you want it? I'm like, yeah. This was a duvet cover, so that's the rest of it there. That's to go into skirts. And then if I don't have a piece big enough for skirts, I don't waste anything. It goes to an apron. I just love that this was a duvet that I bought from a charity shop, so I helped the charity out. And now I've turned it into something I think is quite pretty and quite beautiful that hopefully someone will get a couple of years use out of. I'm so grateful for people for donating to charity shops. I'm never just going, oh, just stick it in the tip, you know, that drives me insane. Because you just think, look at that. How cute is that? So there's a new market that's set up about February, I think it was, down in New Brighton called The Hope. It's called Hope, but it's also called Anti-Supermarket. There's a lady, she runs the event called Yay Will, and it's just a collection of people like me who are local, but I think they're coming from further afield now because they're hearing it's a good fair. It's indoors, which is nice because I spend my life outdoors freezing with all my stuff blowing all over car parks, chasing skirts and aprons and dummy clips down the road, so I'm dressed like an Eskimo. So for me to be indoors with all my stuff is really nice. There's different stores every single week, every single month as well, selling everything from food to beer to artisan fudge to clothing, so like pot plants to candles to jewellery, so just like everything, and people just seem to be lapping it up at the moment.
Oh, I have. You can try any on if you want. Great for football.
I've honed I like to think, my selling skills to weed out the people that either don't want to buy or aren't interested. Because before I was like, oh, just come and have a look at this. And they come over and I go, oh, look at this, look at this, look at this. And I spend 15 minutes explaining it, and they go, oh, I haven't got anyone to buy for them. And you're like, I don't waste my time. Whereas 4 mothers have gone past with buggies. So I say the same line to everybody.
Any little ones to buy for, guys? Loads of baby stuff on, have it? Can't get past me with the prams. I see the pram and I'm like, come over!
Like quite a few, I think, of the artisan markets, for them it's just a hobby, it's a pastime. It's just to get a few extra pennies, you know, they do it at the weekend and they've got a normal job in the week. This is my job. This is where I earn my money. I don't have another job, so I am there to sell. I am quite ruthless.
Everything's recycled. So these are all vintage material. You like the purple? Oh, sure.
Which one's there? Do you like dresses?
Yeah.
And a dummy clip, no problem, I can show you.
Is it funny? I had 2 of those skirts. They're both purple ones. And I've had them for ages. And then in one day both sell. Always really good when I sell a skirt that I really love, because I know I'll never ever find that material again, because it's like 1960s that I found in a charity shop. Even though I'm like, yes, I've got a sale, it's more stock that I've gone through. I'm kind of like, I love that skirt, I'm never going to have that again.
There's no point in doing a £40,000 job a year if you've got no time. It swings and roundabouts, isn't it? You either have no time and loads of money, or you have loads of money and no time. And it's finding that balance in between. But I think stress massively, no stress. For me personally, not having anyone tell me when I need to work, when I can't work, and when I can go on holiday. If I don't want to work, I don't work. And that's all nature, Carter. That's how they would have done it in the old days when they would have died stress. Yeah, they would have got the grass and mashed it up just like you did. When I was having my treatment, so many people said to me, oh my God, you're so brave, you're so brave. I couldn't do it, there's no way I could do it. There's just no way, I couldn't go through what you're going through. And it's like, I'm not brave in the slightest. And you do have a choice, but there's only 2 options. You either do the treatment or you die. And that's your option. So there's nothing really brave about it, because there's no other outcome.
Plus, what keeps me going is my name, Joy. I couldn't be a miserable cow, could I? Could you imagine that? What's your name? Joy. Yeah, fed up with everything. Life's crap. Oh, and your name's Joy? Everyone always says, oh my God, you so suit your name. Oh my goodness, that's hilarious. I love being happy. It's a nice feeling. Obviously, I'm not happy all the time. And most of the time, I am pretty happy.